So welcome to Boxing Media Hub, proudly in partnership with Falcon Contracting and Jam's Boxing Chat. And with me now, I've got a special guest. I've got Lee Gormley. How you doing, Lee?
I'm doing great. Thanks very much for having me on, Joe.
Honestly, really appreciate your time. And as I say, the best hair I've probably ever seen. And as you say, it's in the family. Well done, family.
Thanks so much. First time I've ever been complimented on my hair. Thank you.
Take it, mate. Take it. Take all the compliments that come. That's all I will say.
I don't get
you don't get many.
No.
Well, you will from my wife. She's obsessed by the Irish, mate. So I'm just preparing you now, just in case she comes in the comments. But yeah, no, really appreciate your time. And for those people who don't know who you are, just giving me a bit of a background on who you are before we do. Jam's jumped in. He's put big up Joel and Lee. And some of Matt Simpson has put, am I too early? He's obviously come in early. Yeah. So when did you first put on a pair of gloves, Lee? When did it all start happening for you on the boxing scene?
Yeah, so it was quite a late starter to boxing. I was sort of early to mid-20s, which is like quite late for in terms for boxing. Like I think it might have been like 23 or so, maybe like that. I used to play football and back home in Ireland, Gaelic football a lot. So it was always very athletic, very fit, like. But it wasn't actually until I moved from Ireland to England, and from I used to be in Leeds originally, but I'm in Manchester now. And when I moved to Manchester, I got into elite boxing gym in Bolton, and it just took off from there. Like started just got the boxing bug, as they call it. Like started doing the amateurs at Hollowell ABC, and then took it from there and just got better and better and just dedicated myself to it. And luckily, I've been able to turn pro and been a pro now for over a year. Like, so it's been a good journey so far.
So is pro going to be your only income now, or have you still got another job on the side at the moment until it gets going? Or
yeah, I've still got a full-time job. I don't see that changing anytime soon, unless the big Saudi money comes in.
Yeah. I thought there'd be a mention of that somewhere.
Maybe somewhere down the line I'll hit the jackpot with that. Like, but to be honest, I work for Boxer. I work in boxing as well, so it's not like a job where I hate doing it. You know, you see a lot of fighters a lot, on building sites and stuff like that, and they hate it. But for me, like, I train in the mornings as a professional boxer, and then I get home and I've got my office set up at home, and I work here as well for the rest of the day, and then look after the family and stuff as well. Like, so yeah, I enjoy my job. So for me, it's not a problem. Like, but obviously down the line, you never know. Like, once the money starts hopefully coming in as a pro, then that helps as well. But I would never like leave my job at the minute. I enjoy it a lot.
I suppose you better put that out there just in case they are listening and they don't go, oh, actually, we could do with a cut somewhere. But no, the thing is, if you're in a job like that, then it doesn't feel like work. It feels like you're doing something you love, and it's towards your career anyway. So It's win-win, isn't it, at the moment?
Yeah, exactly. It's all revolves around boxing. Like, as I said, training in the morning as a pro fighter myself, and then I get home to the office and I get to like write about boxing as well, boxing history and that. So yeah, it's great.
Sounds pretty good to me, mate. And just to let you know, my wife has found you, Rachel. She's put, yay, an Irishman. That's it, mate. Yeah, you're done for now.
I need subtitles up there.
Not at all, mate. Honestly, I had one guy, I think, from Northern Ireland a few years ago, and yeah, that was certainly an interesting one. He every time he got excited as well, talking about what he was talking about. Even subtitles, I don't think we're going to help anyone. But no, it's all good, all good. So good start to your career so far. Off to a really good start. Obviously, the loss was a bit of a dent, but as you say, early on, you started late. You're still getting into what's working for you and how things are gonna, sort of recognizing, yourself, isn't it, in the sport? But as you say, a cracking start. I'll just read it out. So obviously, June 2023, John Spencer, which was a win on points in a 4-rounder. Straight into, 3 months after Jake Osgood. And then you had Carl Sampson in November. So you had a real quick turnaround, didn't you, in that first sort of 3 fights?
I was able to stay busy. Yeah, and that's what you want. Activity is key. Even though the third one was bad night at the office, like, still thought it should have got the decision, like, but, it was just no excuses. But it turned out to be a bit of a blessing in disguise, really, like, because I've improved so much since then. And activity is key, as you said.
Yeah, is that something you would like to go back to? Would you like to revisit that fighter and put it right, as I know a lot of people do, don't they?
Yeah, every fighter's the same. Anyone that ever gets a bit of a setback, you want to right the wrongs, like. But if it happens down the line, But I've moved on from that. I've improved a lot since then, and it was a different weight and stuff as well. That was one of the other things. Like, earlier on in my career, like, I was fighting at like higher weights because of like who was available at the times and stuff. And
you just take a fight.
Yeah, you don't get to like pick and choose and stuff. So fighting at like higher weight wasn't ideal, but yeah, we'll see down the line. Like, but I've moved on from that and improved, and yeah, we'll see what happens.
Yeah, no, 100%. And then obviously August you were back out in 2024. So you had a fair gap, didn't you, of about 9 months between the 2 fights.
I had 2 cancelled fights, or postponed and then cancelled in between. So after the third one in November, I stayed ready that whole Christmas period, and was ready to go early in the new year. And I got a date for like end of February, March that year, and then it ended up falling through. Which was really frustrating, like, because you want to jump back straight in, especially after a bad result. Like, it fell through, and then I had to wait around for ages, and then I had our second child, had a wee girl as well, so that sort of put things on hold for a little bit, even further. And then it took a few months before I was able to finally get a date locked in, and then I bounced back eventually.
Because as you say, do you find during those times though that it's difficult, because you question whether you want to keep going? Because when you get you get the momentum, don't you? And then all of a sudden it's almost like someone's just put a block in the way, and you're almost like, oh, well, I'm not having this every time. And it must get frustrating. You're training, and then you're not, and then you're training, and it's almost like there's nothing to get up for, isn't there? You can easily fall into that routine, can't you?
Yeah, that's it. Like, that's where discipline comes in too. Like, because especially for me during that time, coming off a setback and then having to wait months and months, and then having been ready to get back in the ring like early in that new year, and then having it postponed, like, it's frustrating. Having fights postponed or cancelled is like one of the worst things for fighters, like, because you put so much work in, you put so much effort in, and then for it to just fall through sort of the last minute as well, like, it's heartbreaking sometimes, like. But yeah, I'm a gym rat, really, like, so I'm always ready to go, like, I'm never like out of like way beyond my weight or anything like that, so I do stay ready. But it just takes a lot of discipline, and there are times, like any fighter will tell you, like, where you just think, oh, it is annoying, you can't, maybe I don't want to do this anymore, like, but you get over them days and you train anyway, and you get through it, like, just perseverance, like.
And just let you know, I'm blaming the cancelled fight and not your daughter being born. I just, that kind of happens, and there's not a lot you can do about that. But you can blame the guy that pulled out of the fight.
The show.
Yeah, exactly. That's amazing. But as you say, August you got back into winning ways. A tough operator as well, Naeem Ali. Does give you a tough night's work. He always sticks in there and works hard, doesn't he? And then obviously Jake Pollard, very tough one in November. He always pushes you to the limit, doesn't he? But you did win it quite convincingly, which was 40-36. and that was a 4-rounder. But we've got Jake again in March. Why have we got Jake again? I know it's a 6-rounder, which is good. You're not just going to keep fighting Jake.
No. No. So I had the fight with Ali, and I just said, tough operator. That was, again, I spoke about having to stay up on weight. That was the highest weight I'd ever had to fight at for that one, because it was a week's notice, that one. So by the time I actually got back in the ring, it came on a week's notice, like just through making certain connections and stuff. And it was in Newcastle, so it was like a big long it was like 3-hour drive there and then 3 hours back. But it was worth it, like, to get back in the ring, stay active. Good 4 rounds, banked there, got the win, back to winning ways. And then I had Pollard in the last one. And what happened there was, it was supposed to have been the 6 rounds in the last fight, but I was about to walk out. My ring walk was in about 5 minutes before, and they came out to me, one of the guys from the promotion, and they said the board or the promotion or someone had messed up something, like the paperwork or something happened, and they told me, right, so your 6 rounds is cut now, it's only 4. And like, it doesn't sound like a big deal, but whenever you've been training hard for your first 6-rounder, and you're in that, you're focused, you're in the zone, ready to go out, like, to be told 5 minutes before is fucking annoying, like, so and then they told Jack as well. And basically what happened was, it just, because they messed it up, I don't know I don't know if it was the promotion, the board, or it was just, but everyone messed it up. But what happened was, like, the promotion stuff, they just rebooked it, pretty much, like, straight away. All parties just sort of agreed, right, just sort it out.
You can now have your 6-rounder.
Do the next one, 6 rounds, like we're supposed to have done, but I had to just switch on and get the job done first, like, and then got it rebooked straight away. So first fight of this year is against Pollard again, like, but he's tough wee man, like, so 6 rounds will be good, good step up, and then hopefully push on from there.
I know him quite well, and he's one of those guys that does bring it. He's a real he's a real gentleman as well, but he's a real test, and he will really, really push you and test you and come at different angles. And he's fit as a fiddle. He always looks sculpted to the max, doesn't he?
He always looks like one of the home fighters, doesn't he? Like, so he's a great guy, Jack, too. Like, but March 1st again. Hopefully, need to get the job done again there over 6.
So what's the plan then, Lee, for 2025? Obviously, March, we're preparing now. It's actually probably not too far away, as we're February this weekend. I know January's pretty much just gone quicker than anything. And then obviously not too far away after that. How many fights how many fights would you like to have? Is probably the best way to describe it this year.
As many as possible. I like the old school mentality. Like, I'll fight every month if it came up, like, or as often as possible. It's just having, like, the right fights and that. But for me, it's just like progression step. So this is the next step on the ladder. First 6-rounder, March 1st, which is 4 weeks tomorrow. So little step up there, and then we'll see what happens straight after that. Like, I'm not going to be going out frigging celebrating or nothing after this. I'm straight back in the gym the Monday after, hopefully getting the win here, like, and then push on. Maybe, I don't, in terms of how many fights, I'd ideally, like, maybe 3 at least, but like, as I said, like, see what fights come up, and hopefully push on. Fight for a title at some stage. Ideally, a Celtic title, an Irish title, and I'd love to fight back home in Ireland, because I've never done that. I've only ever fought over here. Like, weirdly enough, being an Irish fighter, I've never fought in Ireland. So there's plenty of big shows coming up in Ireland as well. Like, but I don't like looking too far ahead. Like, so March 1st is just what I'm focused on now, and then straight after that, I'll speak to my team and see what the crack is, and see what options are.
Yeah, no, definitely. Sam at SWS Boxing. Hi, Lee and Joel. And Håkan all the way from Sweden. Good evening, Joel and Lee. Jam said, what's your ideal weight going forward, Lee? And is there anyone in particular you'd love to share the ring with down the line? Is there anyone that you kind of looked at and thought, yeah, I'd really like to punch them in the face? other than me, obviously.
There's I don't really have any animosity towards anyone, really. A lot of people think like, oh, you're a fighter, so you want to fucking punch everyone's head in, like, but it's not always.
Lee, you're not Derek Chisora. Do you know what I mean? You're all right, mate. You're all right.
So no one like in particular that I would like the fight as such, like, but as I said, like a Celtic title fight at some point later in the year at home would be great. In terms of weight, I've been fighting when I'm getting the right fights at my weight. I've been fighting super father on the day, so I can do featherweight definitely when it's like a bigger fight and I'm weighing in the day before, 24 hours. So I can definitely do featherweight. I even spoke to my team maybe about doing super bantamweight even. But
wow.
I would have to like cut a wee bit of weight for that. But for featherweight and super feather, I make that fine. But yeah, we'll see. Super feather at the minute on the day is where I'm comfortable at. But I can do featherweight for a big fight down the line. Yeah.
Yeah, no, sounds cool, mate. Sounds cool. And Jam says, what do you think, Lee, to the possibility of Katie Taylor versus Amanda Serrano 3? It's got to happen, isn't it? What cracking last two fights have been.
Yeah, not just in women's boxing, I've been in boxing overall. Like the first one, especially, like, just two great fights. Their styles just clashed, don't they? Or sorry, their styles just gel. And yeah, it should happen. I think there's already like negotiations and talks about it already. Like, I'd love to see it back home. Croke Park would be a good one. That would be absolutely massive. Maybe I could get on the undercard at some point. Who knows?
I think every Irish fighter is going to try and get on that undercard, aren't they, mate?
Literally every single Irish fighter. But yeah, I think that'll be a cracking fight. I think Taylor's getting on a bit now, like towards the end of her career, but Serrano's been around for a long time as well. So it probably, it has all the makings to be a great fight, like, and a trilogy as well. So yeah, hopefully it gets sorted.
Who wins it, Lee? Who wins it? Put all your marbles on the table, mate.
Have to be the home bias here. I think Taylor wins it again. Like, I think it'll be close, but especially if it's going to be even in America, even I think Taylor's like the bigger name and stuff in it. But I think if it's in Ireland as well, they'll over 10 rounds or whatever, it'll go to Taylor. But I think she'll probably win the trilogy. Like,
because even like Jam said, it's down to Croke Park or Vegas. Apparently, they are the two that are in the conversation. Surely it's got to be in Croke Park, just for the fact that she's fought away twice. It's got to be in Ireland, isn't it? And that's got to be the last fight, isn't it? Let's be perfectly honest. If she wins that at home, which I can't see her losing, but that's got to be the thank you very much. You've given everything, Katie. There's nothing else to do.
You'd think so. That would be like the perfect send off. In Dublin and Croke Park, that would be like monumental, like crazy fight, crazy crowd. Yeah, hopefully it happens in Croke Park. Like, and I don't even know if she would retire. Like, she's
this is the problem. She's a machine, isn't she?
She's the same as any fighter. Like, they just don't want to say goodbye to it. Like, but that would be like a fairy tale end if she did.
Yeah, no, definitely, mate, definitely. And Hawkins jumped in. They're all going to test you now. Lewis Crocker or Paddy Donovan?
Great fight. Great fight. I think it's actually the same night. I think it might be on the same night I'm fighting as well, March 1st. Unless I'm mistaken.
I think it is.
I've gone back and forward myself on this one. Like, it's such a risky fight for both of them too. Like, I think it might be a world title eliminator of some sort. So, they're both like dying to get that win. Like, put me on the spot for making a pick, but I love that. Donovan, I've followed for a long time. Always loved his style, very slick, but he can bang a bit too. Like, so he's had some good tests in recent fights too. But Crocker's like, he's been in, I think, maybe a wee bit better opposition, so the experience sort of helps him there. You know, like someone with Tyrone McKenna he's been in with. He's tough as nails, and he's got the power in there. Like, so I don't know. I can't make a pick, but I think great fight. Like,
no, definitely. As I say, it's going to be one of those, and I think we're being treated to so many fights at the moment for the fans, and as I say, it's absolutely booming that all the fights that are coming out now, let alone what we get towards Christmas, because it seems to really heat up now towards Christmas with the boxing, doesn't it? Seems to be the real gift. But yeah, let's see how it goes. And like Håkan said, it's on March the 1st, and he'll be in Belfast for the fight. He's flying all the way from Sweden, so be a cracker. But yeah, Lee, thank you very much for your time. As I say, it's going to be a cracking time for you. I hope 2025 is a real success for you. Matthew said, we'll say a blessing for the fight for Lee ahead of the fight. So yeah, let's see how it all goes for you, Lee. Pick up the win against Jake. Sorry, Jake. Pick up the win against Jake, and then move on to those 6 rounders and just keep moving up and up and up. You've got the dedication, you got the heart. You know what you want to do and what you want to achieve. So yeah, Lee, I wish you all the best, and I hope you go and do it, mate. I'm sure you will.
Thanks very much. Thanks for having me on.
Stay in touch, and as I say, do you want to give a big shout out to anyone?
Yeah, shout out to all the sponsors I've got that are helping me on the journey. Like, a lot of people maybe don't know like how much we rely on sponsors at this early part of our careers. Like, so yeah, I've got some money, but yeah, thanks very much for all the sponsors.
No, thank you very much, Lee. And as I say, so Chat a Lot of Boxing says good luck, Lee. Jam says good luck in all your future endeavors, Lee. So yeah, thank you very much, and we'll catch up with you soon. Take care and God bless.
Thank you. Cheers. Speak later.
Thanks, mate.
Bye-bye.